Okay, so hello, grade 7. Welcome to our next lesson, which is lesson 9. So, after this, meron pa po tayong two lesson. Yung sunod po is yung unicellular and multicellular. And then, last is yung difference between plant and animal cell. So, this time, we will discuss observing cell parts using microscope. So, mas maganda siguro na ma-experience din ng mga bata to observe particular type of cell under the microscope. So, nung meron pa akong senior high school, meron talaga akong mga prepared slides and then I allowed them to observe. Okay, observe those example of cells. Like parang nasa 400 pesos lang yun sa nabili ko siya sa Shopee that time. Okay, so anyway, for our learning competency, use proper techniques in observing and identifying the parts of a cell with a microscope, such as the cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm, mitochondria, and chloroplast. So, while doing this activity, nakalagay naman malinaw, okay, using a microscope, selected, okay, or yung major parts lang ng cell yung ating i-highlight, okay, or kung gagawin man natin yung activity. Okay, so for our learning objectives, use a microscope properly to observe cells. Identify basic parts of a cell. Describe the function of each cell part. Not all ha, hindi lahat ng parts ng cell na discuss muna natin. May naka-highlight lang sa learning competency kasi yung actual discussion natin is nasa last lesson pa about plant and animal cell. And then observe cells from microscope view. Okay, kung ano yung na-observe natin, pwede nating i-drawing. Ano po? And then practice proper scientific observation techniques. Ayan. So, for our opening question, have you ever wondered? Nagtataka ba kayo? Okay, have you ever wondered or parang nag-iisip ba tayo na ano kaya? Okay, or what do living things look like when we zoom in very close? Ano kaya yung itsura ng mga living things pag i-zoom in natin, especially yung pinaka-internal parts natin? Ano yung makikita natin? Ano po? So, living things are made up of tiny structures called cells, and we can use a microscope to magnify and observe the cells and their parts that are too small to see with the naked eye. So, yan pala. If we look closer under the microscope, meron pala tayong specific part which is known as the cell. Okay, na kaya lang nating makita through the use of microscope. And each cell has its own parts. May mga parts din yan na kung tinatawag natin ay organelles or little organ. May mga parts yan na madami din actually. Pero no worries, hindi naman natin kailangan sa uluhin lahat. Ano po? So, next, for our activity number 1, cell detectives, okay, sasabihin niyo lang sa akin kung living or non-living, and then sasabihin niyo sa akin kung may cell or wala. Okay? So, look at the list of living and non-living things below. So, what are cells? Ano ba yung tinatawag nating cells, mga anak? So, all living things around us, whether big or small, are made up of a tiny building blocks called cells. Okay? So, lahat ng living, whether it's small or big, meron daw cell. These cells are so small that we cannot see them with our naked eye. Hindi natin kayang makita, but they're working together to help living things grow, move, and stay alive. Because of this, scientists call the cell the basic unit of life. Okay, the basic unit of life meaning all living things are composed of cell, and it is where all things originates, or without it, wala din tayo ano. Okay, so kasi basic unit of life eh. Now, not everything we see is alive. Okay, right? Hindi lahat ng nakikita natin buhay. Some things like rocks and water do not have cells and do not carry out life processes because they are non-living. That is why it is important to learn how to tell the difference between living and non-living things based on whether they are made up of cells. Okay, so what are cells actually? So this are the example of illustration of cells. We have an animal cell, plant cell, and a bacteria cell. So the first one we have human. Is it living or non-living? Correct, it's living. Do you think it is made up of cells or made of cells? Yes. Okay. What about a dog? Is it living or non-living? It's living. Do you think it's made up of cells? Yes. What about a tree? Is it living or non-living? It's living. Do you think it is made up of cells? Yes, it's made up of cells. What about a rock? Is it living or non-living? Okay, it's non-living. Do you think it is made up of cells? No, kasi yan ay non-living. Ano? What about a water? Is it living or non-living? It's non-living. Do you think it is made up of cells? No. Okay. What about a plant? Living or non-living? It's living. Do you think it is made up of cells? Yes. Okay. So what do all living things have in common? Dun sa na-observe natin. Okay. Ano yung pagkakaparehas ng lahat ng living things? They are made up of cells. So all living things are made up of cells, which is the basic unit of life. Okay, so cell theory detectives, proceed naman tayo dun sa mga scientists na nag-contribute on the cell theory. How cell discovered. Paano ba na-discover yung cell? Ayan. So the cell theory did not come from just one scientist. Okay, hindi lang po galing yan sa isang scientist. It was developed through the work of several scientists who made different discoveries about living things over time. Each scientist contributed a key idea that helped us understand that all living things are made up of cells and how cells function in living things. So itong mga scientists na to, at the end of their observation or experiment, meron silang conclusion. Okay, at yung mga conclusion ng iba't ibang scientists, pinagsama-sama to create the cell theory. Okay, about cells. Kung ano ba talaga, kung paano natin i-describe yung cell, okay, how, saan natin ito makikita, something sort of that. So for example, one scientist first observed and named cells. May scientist na nakapagpangalan or siya yung unang nakapagpangalan ng word na cell based on his observations. Meron din namang nakapag-discover na or nakapag-conclude that plants and animals are made up of cells. And another scientist named that cells come from existing cells. Okay, nung pinagsama na buo natin yung cell theory. So, before we proceed on the actual discussion, let's meet Robert Hooke, Matthias Sladen, Theodore Swan, Rodolph Virgo. So, sasabihin niyo lang sa akin, pipili kayo muna. Okay lang magkamali kung sino yung nagsabi dyan para i-discuss natin. Okay, yung statements is all plants are made up of cells. Sa mga scientists na yan, sino yung nagsabi that all plants are made up of cells? Correct. It's Matthias Sladen. Ano? So, si Matthias Sladen po yung nagsabi that all plants are made up of cells. Lahat ng plants. Okay. What about all animals are made up of cells? Lahat naman ng hayop daw ay may cell. Sino nagsabi? Correct. It's Theodore Swan. What about this statement? All cells come from pre-existing cells. Na lahat daw ng cell galing mismo sa another cell. Like for example, tayo. Okay, we humans were made up of cells. Okay, so tayo, galing tayo sa sperm and egg cell comes from pre-existing cells. So, sino nagsabi niyan? Correct, it's Rudolf Virchow. Okay, what about first discover and name cells after observing pork? So, ano yung pork? It's like a balat ng kahoy, mga anak. Okay, especially an oak tree. So, siya yung unang scientist na nakapagpangalan or nakapagbigay ng word na cell. Okay, because on his observation about a cork. Okay, yung itsura ng cork is parang mga boxes under the microscope. Okay, at parang naalala niya, ito yung parang nasa monastery siya, yung mga rooms ng mga monghe or monk. Kaya tinawag niyang cell. Okay, so si Robert Hooke po yung nagsabi nun. Okay, so who contributed what? So Robert Hooke was an English scientist who was first to observe and describe cells. In 1665, he examined a thin slice of cork using a microscope and saw many tiny box-like structures. He called these structures cells because they reminded him of small rooms used by monks. Although the cork cells he observed were dead, his discovery introduced the term cell to science. Okay, though ganun lang yung nagawa na observe ni Robert Hooke, pero ang laki ng naging impact sa science, diga? Okay, remember, cells. So, from this very small unit of life, okay, na-discover natin ng lahat or na-discover natin yung iba't ibang klase ng mga diseases, etc. Okay, how cells divide, how cells, what do you call this, develop, paano ba yan nabubuo. So, through that simple observation, ang laki ng impact sa science. Okay, kaya kasama din siya sa cell theory. Ano po? So, Matthias Sladen, another, sino naman to? Matthias Sladen was a German botanist. Botanist siya. Pag sinabi natin botanist, mga anak, ito yung, um, what do you call, just call this biologist na expert pagdating sa mga halaman. Okay, after examining many plant tissues under a microscope, marami siyang naging observation about plants. After his observation, he concluded that all plants are made up of cells. His work showed that the cell is the basic building block of plant life and became an important part of the cell theory. Okay, through that, nakapag-conclude talaga na lahat ng halaman ay may cell because it's a living component. Okay, next we have Theodore Schwann. Okay, a German zoologist. Pag sinabi naman nating zoologist, ito yung expert pagdating sa mga animals. Inspired by Sladen's work on his plants, he investigated animal tissues and discovered that all animals are made up of cells. This finding helped scientists realize that both plants and animals share the same basic unit of life, the cell. Okay, so lahat po daw, sabi ni Theodore Swan, lahat ng animals ay may cell, which is another living component. Yan. So last we have Rudolf Virchow, was a German physician and scientist who studied how cells grow, okay, and reproduce. He proposed that all cells come from pre-existing cells. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng cell galing mismo yan sa another cell. Okay, even yung mga cell natin, okay, nag-originate yan sa another cell. Okay, meron tayong tinatawag sa science na yung cell division, especially mitosis and meiosis. Okay, doon natin magigets, especially sa term 2. Okay, which is true naman yung sinabi ni Rudolf Virchow. This means that new cells are formed when existing cells divide. His contribution completed the major principles of the cell theory and helped explain how living things grow and heal. Okay, which is about cell division. Okay, so why are the scientists important in understanding how life is organized? Okay, ano kaya? Why are the scientists important? Ano yung kahalagahan nila? Okay, so these scientists are important because their discoveries help develop the cell theory, okay, about the cell, which explains how living things are organized. They discover that all plants and animals are made up of cells, that cells are the basic unit of life, and that new cells come from existing cells. Their work help us understand that cells form the structure and function of all living organisms. Ayan, activity 3 tayo. Why are cells important? Okay, explain why studying cells is important in understanding living things. So cells are the basic unit that make up all living things. Every function in living organisms such as growth, kaya tayo lumalaki is because our cells divide. Healing, kaya gumagaling ang ating mga sugat because our cells divide, undergo in cell division. Movement, reproduction, and fighting diseases depends on cells. Although cells are tiny, kahit maliliit yung mga yan, they work together to keep organism alive and healthy. Scientists study cells because they help explain how living things function. By understanding what happens inside cells, scientists can learn how wounds heal, how diseases spread, how plants grow, and how different parts of the body work. Studying cells also help doctors and researchers develop treatment for illnesses and understand what happens when the body is not functioning properly. Okay, so grabe ano. So through this discovery, talagang ang dami nating naging branches of discovery. Because all, 'di ba? Parang nag-branch out sa cell nung na-discover yung cell, we understand okay, how we grow, reproduce, fight diseases, discover medicines. Kumbaga, ang daming naging branches. Okay, kasi nga, okay, yun na yung ating pinaka-start of life, the basic unit of life, which is the cell. So read each situation below. Identify how studying cells helps scientists understand the situation. Okay, meron tayong situation. A child has a cut on the skin that heals after a few days. A person becomes sick because of a bacterial infection. A plant grows taller and produces new leaves. An athlete's muscle becomes stronger after regular exercise. So how does studying cells help? Okay, so for the first situation, yung child, okay, nagkaroon ng cut, studying cells help us understand how skin cells divide and repair damaged tissue. Okay, kasi nga, okay, nagkasugat tayo, for example. Okay, and then, after a few days, magaling na siya. Kasi yung mga cell natin mga anak, they undergo in the so-called cell division. Nagde-divide yung mga yan to replace worn out or damaged cells. Next, a person becomes sick. Okay, so studying cells help us understand kung paano yung bacteria affect body cells and how the immune system fight infections. Okay. And then a plant grows taller and produces new leaves. So studying cells help us understand how plant cells divide and grow to form new tissues and leaves. Kaya tayo lumalaki, even in animals and plant, kasi nga nagde-divide ang cells natin. Okay? An athlete's muscles become stronger after regular exercise. Studying cells help us understand how muscle cells grow, repair themselves, and become stronger with exercise. Okay. So, guide ko, how do cells help organism live and grow? Cells carry out the function needed for life, such as growth, repair, obtaining energy, and reproduction. So, ang daming work ng cells. Okay, yung for example, yung repair, growth, okay, and reproduction. One of the three major uh, function of cell. Doon pa lang sa repair, pag tayo nasusugatan, ang laki. Diba? Ang bag growth. Kaya tayo lumalaki. Kasi nga nagde-divide yung cells natin. Reproduction. Okay, which is to be specific, ito yung under ng meiosis. Okay, a type of cell division. Okay, so kumbaga yung three major processes ng life na important sa atin is carry out by cells. Okay. Next, why do scientists study cells to understand how the body works? So scientists study cells because cells are the basic units of life and all body functions depend on them. Okay. Next, what would happen if cells stop functioning properly? Paano naman, anong mangyayari pag nag-stop or tumigil yung pag-function ng mga cells? So the organism could become sick. Parts of the body may not work correctly and may not survive. Bakit po mga anak? So yung mga cell po natin mga anak kasi, very busy sila everyday. Another contribution of cell is the one that makes up energy. To be specific, in what part of the cell in mitochondria. So kung nag-stop yung ating mga cell, how can we get energy? 'Di ba? So energy is the needed factor for us to properly function. So talagang, 'di ba? Napakalaking ambag ng cell sa atin. Next, microscope safety and skills check. Demonstrate proper microscope handling, safety practices, and observation techniques. So sabihin niyo sa akin kung safe or unsafe. So, a microscope is an important scientific tool used to observe objects that are too small to be seen, like for example, yung cell nga, such as cells and microorganisms. Because microscopes are delicate and expensive instruments, they must be handled carefully and used correctly. Following proper microscope safety practices helps prevent damage to the microscope, protects the slides and specimens being observed, and ensures accurate observations. Learning to learning the correct way to carry, focus, and adjust microscope also helps students obtain clear images and develop good laboratory skills. Okay, so sasabihin niyo lang sa akin kung safe or unsafe. Carrying the microscope with two hands, correct, it's safe. Starting observation with a high power objective lens, it's unsafe. So, lagi tayong sa low power magsisimula. Ano? Okay, next. Holding glass slides carefully by the edges. Okay, it's safe. Sa edges talaga, huwag naman dun sa gitna kasi nandun talaga yung specimen sa gitna ng mga slides. Okay, hindi sa gilid. Ano? So, ayan. So, lagi pag maghahawak tayo ng slides sa edges hindi sa gitna. Okay, adjusting the focus slowly while observing, it's safe. Tama. Okay, placing the microscope near the edge of the table, it's unsafe. What if mahulog? Adjusting the light to see the specimen clearly, it's safe. Especially ito ay for compound microscope. Forcing the focus knob when the image is blurry, okay, it's unsafe. Ano po? Okay, so focus snap talaga when the image is blurry. Handling prepared slides with caution. So ito ay safe. Ano po? So dapat ayos. So why should a microscope be handled carefully? Bakit? Ayan, a microscope should be handled carefully to prevent damage to the instrument, avoid accidents, and ensure accurate observations. Tandaan natin ha. Okay, why is it important to start with a low power objective lens? Bakit nga naman sa low power? Starting with a low power objective lens makes it easier to locate and focus on the specimen before switching to higher magnification. Okay, so syempre magsisimula muna tayo sa low power. Pag okay na naman sa low power, no need to adjust it anymore. Pero kung kailangan, especially kung hindi pa natin nakikita yung desired, what do you call this, image, okay, pwede natin i-adjust. Okay, next, how can proper microscope use help you observe cells clearly? Okay, so proper microscope use help produce a clear image of the specimen, making it easier to observe and study cells accurately. Okay, name that cell part. So, hindi lahat ng cells natin i-discuss. Meron lang tayong minention na basic parts of the cell. Ano po? Okay, so cell parts. What are cell parts? In other references, ang tawag natin sa cell parts ay organelles. Okay, so cells are made up of different parts or organelles, and each part has a special job to keep the cell alive and functioning properly. Just like how different organs in the human body have specific roles, cell parts also work together to carry out life processes, such as getting energy, controlling activities, and protecting the cell. So imagine natin mga anak, yung ating katawan may iba't ibang parts. May heart, may lungs, may stomach, etc. Ang cell, may iba't iba din yung parts. Okay, na organelles. Ang ibang tawag nga, little organ, ang tawag sa kanila. So each organelle or cell part has an important function. Some parts control what enters and leaves the cell, some produce energy, some control all cell activities, and others help the cell carry out chemical processes. In plant cells, there are also special parts that help in making food and using sunlight, which is not present in animal cell. Kaya sa last natin, makikita natin yung main difference between plant and animal cell. Okay, so ito yung ating ifo-focus. Cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, mitochondria. So ito lang po ba yung parts ng cell? No, marami pa. But ito lang muna yung focus natin sa ngayon. Nagkakaintindihan ba if you're going to use the microscope? Okay, so match cell part in column A with its correct function in column B. Write the letter of the correct answer. Okay, so study natin. Okay, so let's reveal the answer. So cell membrane, ano yung function ng cell membrane? It's letter D. Saan yung letter D yan? A, B, C, D. Okay, cell membrane, A, B, C, D. Okay, let's correct. Hanapin na lang natin. Parang mismatch yung ating, wag na lang natin anuhin yung answer. So cell membrane, hanapin natin. It controls what enters and leaves the cell. Ito po yung ating sagot. Okay, cell membrane ha. So yung cell membrane natin mga anak, so yung taga-control kung ano yung pumapasok at lumalabas na sa cell. Okay, at ito yung ating cell membrane, yung first layer po natin yan. So yung taga-control kung ano yung papasok at hindi dapat pumasok. Okay. Next, nucleus controls the activities of the cell. Okay, ito naman ang sunod. Sunod-sunod na pala. Okay, yung function. No need to go to the answer kasi mismatch yung nailagay. Hindi ko pala na-edit itong part na to. Okay, so anyway, yan, nucleus controls the activities of the cell. Tatandaan natin, nucleus. Okay, in other references mga anak, ang tawag sa kanya is the control center of the cell. Ito yung pinakagitna natin, itong bilog na malaking yan. It's the nucleus. Okay, nucleus. Next, what about cytoplasm? Yan, jelly-like substance where cell activities occur. Tandaan niyo mga anak itong cytoplasm kasi may encounter niya sa grade 8. Okay, siya yung jelly-like substance. Ito lahat ng watery or fluid sa loob ng ating cell, yan yung cytoplasm. Ayan, yung buong yan, yung parang grayish. Okay, yun po yung cytoplasm natin, lahat nun. Okay, kaya nga ang ibang sabi pa sa cytoplasm is a part of the cell where most of the organelles rather are embedded. Nakalagay. Ano po nandun talaga, parang nakalutang sila sa cytoplasm. Okay, next, mitochondria. Okay, produces energy for the cell. In other references, powerhouse of the cell or tagagawa ng energy. Anong energy yung ginagawa niya? ATP. So, tatandaan yung mga anak, itong si cytoplasm at si mitochondria kasi mamimet ninyo siya sa grade 8, especially during cellular respiration. Ha, tatandaan para maalala natin sila. Chloroplast contains chlorophyll and help plants make food. Ito naman is a part of the cell na makikita lamang sa plant cell. Tandaan natin ng mga anak, ang chloroplast ay hindi siya available sa animal cell. Ang meron lamang po ay plant cell. It contains chlorophyll and help plants make food. So, ayun po. So, lahat ng yan, cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm, mitochondria, meron din yan sa plant cell. Okay? So, ito lang yung basic parts muna. No need to stress yourself. Skip natin yung mga choices kasi mismatch. Okay, burahin natin to. Okay, mismatch yun. Pwede naman natin i-edit. Okay. So, how can proper microscope use help you observe cells clearly? Okay. So, proper microscope use help us produce clear image of the specimen, making it as easier to observe and study cells accurately. Okay, microscope cell hand. Cell hand. Ayan. So, draw or observe what you see under the microscope. So, pwede naman nating ito yung activity sa mga bata kung gusto nyong ipagawa, pa-observe sa kanila, and then ipapadraw, ipapa-describe. So, mga bata na po ang bahala dyan kung ano yung kanilang sasabihin. Okay, so skip na lang natin ito. Okay, ayan. So, let's go for the formative assessment. So, ang ating goal lang naman ngayon is yung about sa cell theory, about cell. Remember, cell is the basic unit of life. So, first question. What is the basic unit of life? It's letter C, cell. Which part of the cell controls its activities? The nucleus. No worries mga anak, ito naman ay madidiscuss pa further yung different parts of the cell. What is the jelly-like substance? It's cytoplasm, where all other organelles are embedded. Which part of the cell controls what enters and leaves? It's the cell membrane. Which cell part produces energy for the cell? It's mitochondria, or the powerhouse of the cell. Which cell part is found in plant cells and helps in making food? The chloroplast. What tools is used to observe cells? Microscope. Why do scientists use a microscope? To hear sounds, to measure weight. It's to see very small objects. What should you do first when using a microscope? It's letter B. Start in with low power objectives. Which scientist first discovered cells using quark? Is letter C. Robert Hooke. Okay, so hopefully, alam na natin yung sa cell theory, yung apat na scientist, Robert Hooke, Matthias Leiden, Theodore Swan, and Rudolf Virchow. Sino nga si Robert Hooke? Siya yung nagsabi ng word na cell. Sino si Matthias Leiden? All plants are made up of cells. Sino naman si Theodore Swan? Siya yung nagsabi na all animals are made up of cells. Sino naman si Rudolf Virchow? Siya yung nagsabi na uh, all cells come from pre-existing cells. Omnicellula e cellula in Latin words. Thank you so much, grade 7.